Well, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Sports City Show Live, and we are here to review and analyze the sporting action that was happening in the course of the week and what we are expecting in terms of fixtures in this weekend. My name is Chris Mololo. I am with Felix Makona, and on sign language interpretation, we are with Philip Omondi. Hi, Felix.
Hi.
You're good?
Today I'm really good. You know, this is the day that the Lord has made.
Yes.
And Arsenal today we are going to smash the mighty Aston Villa. You know, it has been up to 2 seasons. The two teams that have been denying Arsenal the title are Aston Villa and Brentford. We have already put aside Brentford because we beat them in the midweek, 2-0. Now we have another special event today. This evening, 3:30 p.m., we are going to finish that small team managed by Unai Emery, who refused to coach Arsenal and decided to go the other way, so that we teach them how football is being played. And if we win today, that will show that we are ready. We as Arsenal fans, you know, I'm confident even today I'm putting on an Arsenal shirt. So today, if we win today, it means we are seriously contending for the title. And these titles, it is ours to lose.
Yeah, sure. It's yours to lose because Arsenal this season is one of the most consistent teams in the Premier League. Because
even in the Champions League, remember Arsenal has not lost any game.
Yeah, sure.
Malala, you know you are contradicting the audience. You know, in the Champions League, we have had 100% record.
Yes.
Winning all the games that we have played up to match week 5. That is round of 5. We beat Bayern 4-1. Was it 4-1? 3-1. So that means that we as Arsenal, we are confident in every part. English Premier League, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League is all ours. We are winning a quadruple this season so that the likes of Liverpool can learn from us.
I wish. Anyway, I want us to begin here speaking about the junior stars. In the Sekafa AFCON qualifiers for the under-17, they played a third-place playoff match, and unfortunately, we lost to Ethiopia, and that means the junior stars have not qualified for the under-17 AFCON. And I remember we talked about this team last week but one, and when I was here on Monday for the Sports City Extra, I also talked about it. They did their best, by the way, because the performances they showed were promising, but football is football. They had more experienced opponents, but I'm sure they picked some lessons, and in the coming matches, maybe they might perform better. So what do you have to say about junior stars as we proceed with the show?
The junior stars are showing a great passion in terms of they are eager to win the title, and that means that their determination can bring some result. You know, it has been long since they tried such a thing, and this may be their time. You know, everything has its time, and it is time that we look at them in another perspective. You know, people have been used to know that Kenyan football is a bit backwards, or the players don't perform, but the junior stars have shown they have that pathway, they have that hope that they can proceed to the next level and even compete at the highest level. So it is a matter of giving them those hikes or those psychs. They have to get the psych going to the game. They have to get full support, good training, and everything will go well to their side.
Yeah, and this is something that I said. The junior stars and the under 20 team, we are depending on these guys as the future for Harambee Stars. Because looking at them, the way they are playing, you can see that if they can be supported very well, they can show a very wonderful performance. Because looking at the current Harambee Stars team, we only have a few players who are youngsters. Apart from those who have been included, some of them, the performance is declining with age. So if these under 17 and the under 20 guys continue with the performance that they are putting, then we can count on them, right?
Yeah, that is for sure. And for sure, you know, the other time I predicted and you said my prediction will go wrong. The other time I predicted we are going to win and we won. So I still predict that when you compare the passion the boys have right now, it means they are on a different angle. Yeah. We cannot underrate them. So they are going to win again.
Okay. Let's keep it local. And now I want us to look at the FKF Premier League, also known as the Sportpesa Premier League. Let's look at the fixtures or maybe the results for the past matches. I think we had a match on Monday, Bidco versus Posta Rangers.
We had some games. From Monday, Monday was 30th. Was it 30th?
No, first.
Monday was first.
1st of December.
So it was postponed. So on 30th, let's start the game that we had on 30th. We had Ulinzi Stars versus Bandari. It was a 1-1 draw. Then Muranga Seal versus Kariobangi Sharks. It was a 0-0 draw. Kakamega Homeboys versus KCB. It was a 1-1 draw. Then Kenya Police versus Shabana. Remember, these games had a stampede, especially in the tickets purchase. And there was also other obstacles that made even the game to delay. But Shabana FC won 1-0 against Kenya Police. Bidco United were beaten 1-0 by Posta Rangers. But they Posta Rangers,
the match I was talking about.
They are starting to improve. It was on first. Yeah, you are correct. It was on first this month. And Brian Chonjo. Brian Chonjo managed to score in the 31st minute. Then the other game we had was Nairobi United versus Mathare United, where Mathare United beat Nairobi United 1-0. Then on 4th, Posta Rangers was to play Nairobi United, but it was postponed. And yesterday, that is 5th, Tusker FC managed to beat Ulinzi Stars 1-0. So we have Dennis Oalo, who scored 1 goal, and it ended like that. Remember, he scored in the 32nd minute, but up to 90 minutes, even Ulinzi Stars didn't manage to equalize. Then right now, we have a game that is playing. Shabana has already kick-started. It is first half. In the 39th minute, it is still 0-0. Then later on, we will have Kariobangi Sharks versus Kenya Police. That will start at 4 p.m. Then the most important tomorrow. Do you remember what I told you? Gor Mahia versus AFC Leopards.
Mashemeji
Derby. Mololo, this one, give it to AFC Leopards. I'm telling you right away.
No way. I don't think AFC are going to beat Gor.
Remember, Gor Mahia in the last 10 matches, Gor Mahia have won 4 games, 5 draws, and 1 win for AFC Leopards. If we look at the form right now, you find that Gor Mahia is leading the table with 19 points, and AFC Leopards is 7th with 14 points. So if they win this game, it means they are going to have 17 points. So it will be a move closer to Gor Mahia. So that is my only motivation that I'm looking, that AFC Leopards will win this game. Then if you look at the even the matches they have played, not Gor Mahia has won with many goals.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you find it is 2-0. Up to this year, that was 2019. That the last time Gor Mahia beat AFC Leopards many goals was 4-1, and that was on 10th, 11th, the month of November 2019.
Yes.
So that means we are seriously having an issue with Gor Mahia. And this time, we are going to show them that we have at least improved. Remember, this AFC Leopards managed to change some players. They even changed the board. They even brought in a new manager, chairman. They brought in new faces. Yeah. So, Mololo, this is not the AFC Leopards we have been used to know.
Okay, let's wait and see. Because Gor, they started this season a bit shaky, but they somehow managed to crawl, and now they are at top of the table. So, and I'm sure they want to keep that momentum. So the Mashemeji Derby will not be easy. I'm sure the best result AFC can get is a draw. But for me, I think they are going to lose this one.
And that is according to your wish.
Yes, not
but
my wish.
You know,
not my wish.
Mololo, sometimes I tell you, in football, there's nothing like wishing, knowing that. Me, I'm telling you, do not, if you are listening right now, take your rent money, pocket money, shopping, and place a bet on AFC Leopards, because the only thing I'm assuring you, the game has been put at Kasarani.
Yeah.
So it means they are at a neutral ground. Remember, it is not the home for Gor Mahia, it is not the home for AFC Leopards. But what I'm sure is that, sometimes when you have an enemy, the enemy has been torturing you all the time. There reaches a time you have to read the tactics, you have to know how he attacks you, and you counterattack him. So this is the time for AFC Leopards to counterattack, and I'm sure they are going to win. What is your take?
I've already said, I don't think AFC are going to come from there with a win. I think the best they can do is a draw. Because I'm sure Gor, they want to extend that lead. Considering that they are now at top of the table, they just want also to keep the gap from Kenya Police and other competitors. So let's wait and see tomorrow. And like we've been talking about the Mashemeji Derby, the week that it was postponed, and I remember we were asking which venue that can fit this match. And I remember I told you it's only Kasarani for now.
Yeah, for only now it is Kasarani.
And maybe Talanta ikimalizwa, then we can also maybe see a Mashemeji Derby match there, because AFC and Gor, these are teams with big fan base.
Yeah, and for sure, sometimes it had been held at Nyayo, but Nyayo was deemed too small because of the capacity.
It is
because sometimes you find that even the fans have to squeeze because no one will stay outside the pitch or outside the stadium, and he knows what is happening inside.
Yeah.
So at least Kasarani, but most of the time what is affecting the derbies is the security.
Yeah.
The security deployed is never enough to guard everyone, and you find that people will get hurt, there will be a stampede at the ground, and theft and like those things, and even destruction of stadium property. And that shows that there's need for security to be deployed heavily and to make sure that everyone's welfare is well taken of. At a point, you remember there was the chairs were vandalized and broken or vandalized at the Kasarani Stadium. And by that time, you find that the fans have increased nowadays. You find even the youth today, they go and watch the derbies.
Yeah.
So it is another challenge to the FKF board to make sure that everything in terms of security, security is everything, and also they make sure that the ground is in a good position to host the game.
And even as we tell the FKF and other stakeholders to make sure that security is beefed up, also as fans, we know football is an emotional game. Let's behave, please. Let's behave. We don't wish to hear the Mashemeji derby is always chaotic. Let's go there as fans, celebrate whoever wins. We always say a football match has 3 results. It's either win, lose, or a draw. The match has to be peaceful for the sake of everyone, because we've always urged fans to go and watch the matches, and no one wants to go where there's no peace. Yeah, so I'm sure as the security plays its part, also as fans, we play our part. So this weekend, we've mentioned the fixtures.
Yeah.
So I think we can now come to the Premier League action in the midweek before we take a break. And I want us to start with Fulham versus Manchester City. Man, this match, this match showed us wonders. I'm sure you'll agree with me that this is the most interesting English Premier League match we've witnessed so far. And it has produced most goals. Man, 9 goals. 5-4. What's wrong with the defense area of Manchester City? This is something I talked about on Monday, but I also want to hear your thought about it. Because if this Manchester City that is leaking goals like this, and we are expecting it to
just say to
challenge
help.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I knew where you are going. I know. I really, what you want to speak, I already predict in my head what you want to say. So, Mololo, let me tell you, if Man City will not be conceding many goals, they will be competing with Arsenal so thoroughly. Because in this game, if Manchester City can concede 4 goals in one game, it means if they didn't score more than 3, they would have been beaten.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they are not competing with Arsenal. Arsenal, in the game that they have played, 14 games, they have managed only to concede 7 goals.
Yes.
And the 8th one, 8 goals only. So, meaning Manchester City, if they can concede 4 goals in one game, it means their defense is weak. And their defense comes weak when you find someone like Nick O'Reilly and Matheus Nunes.
Yeah.
Matheus Nunes from Wolves, he has been having some injuries. And the player, when a player has some injuries, that physicality usually turns down, especially if he is a defender.
Yeah.
Also, when you look at Ruben Dias and Josko Gvardiol, their chemistry has not been good for so long. So we can say it is just something that we will base on defense and say Manchester City defense has exposed even Donnarumma himself.
Yeah.
Remember when Donnarumma arrived at Manchester City, he was as good as a goalkeeper, a world-class goalkeeper.
Bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Man, Christian Romero. That was good.
He's an Argentine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very wonderful. And let's talk about Tottenham. They've been blowing hot and cold in terms of performances. Before they got this draw they had lost some matches.
They lost to Fulham. They lost to
PSG in Champions League.
They lost to Arsenal. They drew with Man U.
Yeah.
And funny enough, in these all games that Tottenham have played this season, they have conceded in each and every game, except when they played Copenhagen.
Yeah.
They managed to win 4-0. That was in the Champions League. But they managed to concede in most of these games. They have conceded against Aston Villa, against Leeds, against Everton, against Newcastle. That was in the 26th, in the month of October. Then against Totte, again against Chelsea, and then Man United, they conceded also. Arsenal, they conceded. So that gives you something that when it comes to statistics, you will have to say that even if Tottenham will score, it will concede. Yeah. And it means not that their defense is weak, maybe their system or something else, but I think they forget themselves sometimes, and they usually concede when they forget themselves. The game against PSG, they did the same. Yeah.
I think they just lose concentration at some point, because looking at Thomas Frank, the way he organizes his team, you can be sure this is a team that will bring results. And the kind of players that Tottenham has are players that you are sure these are people that can give me some good results. And, they also have some injuries. James Maddison has not returned to the squad. Kulusevski is also injured. So if those two can return, I think the attack will be boosted. And maybe they also try and improve in terms of defense to make sure that they are not conceding so many goals. Since Mohamed Kudus returned, you can see their attack is returning to their best.
Yeah.
And this weekend, who are they facing?
Tottenham this weekend. Tottenham are going to face. I think Tottenham are going to face Brentford today.
Yeah.
And Brentford. Tottenham versus Brentford, they must concede. Yeah, that is for sure.
Because Brentford is also not a very easy team.
Because even if you look at the first 10 games, the last 10 games are head-to-head. Tottenham has won 5 of them. Draws have been 3 and 1 win for Brentford. And it means Brentford will have to do something today. And all these games, Tottenham have conceded. So it is again the same thing. So Tottenham is Tottenham. Spurs is Spurs. So they must concede. It is their thing. Yeah.
On the other hand, Newcastle,
yeah,
they are also doing very well. There was a time they looked like they are crumbling, but I think after that win against Tottenham, 4-1,
they have woken up.
They've woken up. And even after beating Manchester City, you could see that there's some confidence that came to this team.
That's for sure, Malolo. Because Chelsea, we don't expect them to be beaten by Leeds. How can you draw against Arsenal with 10 men, then you are 11 men, you are beaten by Leeds? Who is Leeds first in the league? It's just a team that has just come from the relegation and has been promoted this season, and it comes to beat you. So I think sometimes Chelsea also, they have that something of forgetting themselves. They don't maintain the consistency they started with, especially when they are playing small teams. And they underrate them. They say, this team, we are going to beat them. So they are sure in their heads, we are going to win. They don't know it is a competition, and the opponent also wants to win the game to escape relegation.
Yeah.
So I think Leeds took advantage of that, and they managed to score through Calvert-Lewin and Tanaka together with Bijoel. who scored the first goal, Tanaka the second, and Calvert-Lewin the third. On the side of Chelsea, Pedro Neto scored in the 50 minutes, and it was 2-1. Then before Calvert-Lewin kaweka msumari ya mwisho kwa sanduku, and now it was a 3-1. And those results makes Chelsea remain in the 4th position because Aston Villa now overtook them, and then Manchester City, they were hoping to come 1 point near to Manchester City, but they never managed. Of course, they cannot catch Arsenal. Catch us if you can. That is it.
Well, the world champions were humbled.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also today, they have a match.
Yeah, Chelsea today is playing against Bournemouth. Bournemouth is at home.
It's also not a very easy one.
Remember,
this is tough.
When you look, even it is a tough game, and also Caicedo is still suspended because he will be suspended for 3 games. So the Leeds was the second because he was suspended the game against Arsenal. So the Leeds he was suspended is the second one. So this one is the 3rd game. Caicedo will not be playing today against Bournemouth, and that is another setback to Chelsea. You know, the anchor of that Chelsea midfield is Caicedo.
Yeah.
And when they partner with Enzo or Reece James, it becomes so good. Remember also, still talking of Chelsea, there was some news that Mudryk could be back on January 17th next year after the doping agency found out that he used the drugs unknowingly. So maybe that is a defense against the ban. So, and he may be back on the ground on January 17th. And Chelsea are planning to loan him to the sister club, that is Strasbourg of France. And after there, he will develop there before coming back to Chelsea. So let's hope all goes well with the drug trafficker. And when he comes back...
Trafficker, really?
So when he comes back, he will be a good person. So, but sometimes, Mololo, I say some things when you do, you don't know if they are going to affect you. But sometimes it turns out to taunt you, the likes of Mudryk. And also there was another player who was banned, Paul Pogba. He returned. And now he plays for Monaco or Marseille? Monaco in France. Yeah.
Yes, and we've talked about that on that win. Liverpool without Salah in the coming matches when he leaves for AFCON. How do you see things?
I can say Liverpool without Mohamed Salah, it will be an unbalanced team. Because sometimes, even though he has not been so important this season like he was last season, but there is that impact he creates on the field.
Yeah.
So without Mohamed Salah, I will say the team will still be balanced, but they will lack someone lethal to help me, maybe in the cross balls and in the attack generally. So that means there will be a need to replace him. And I heard Liverpool were wanting to sign Semenyo from Bournemouth. But if they bring Semenyo also, is going to AFCON. So it is the same. It is the same thing. So my take is, although Musala is important, but the way also the media is talking about Mohamed Salah this season, I think when Slot puts him on the bench, he's trying to ease pressure on him because, the media can kill you internally, psychologically, and make you to not to focus in games.
And not just the English media, man, that can just pressure you. And there's something that I think Liverpool fans and other analysts don't understand. But the way Mohamed Salah used to perform very well because of Trent Alexander-Arnold. There is something that he would do to connect with Salah, and you could see his performance. But right now, Liverpool doesn't have that right back who is the same levels with Trent the way he used to play when at Liverpool. And that's why you can see that Salah's performance is somehow declining. And let's see what comes in the following matches. Chiesa just saved Slot from being sacked because
Sure.
Sunderland, they almost scored a goal in the very, very last minutes. And something that everyone is talking about is the time play for Chiesa. He's not given enough time play, but maybe when Salah goes, we might see him in the starting lineup. I think we can talk about the remaining matches, mention the fixtures, and then we leave the highlights to play as we end and go to watch Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Now, Arsenal played Brentford on Wednesday.
Yeah.
They won 2-0. Any comments about that match?
That was an Arsenal's win. No, nothing to say about that game, but only to say that Merino is a striker in disguise. He has been a midfielder. At Real Sociedad, he also played as a centre-back. So it means it is the only player in the world who has tested every position in the Premier League. From the even goalkeeper, I know Arteta will give him some day when David Raya and and Kepa Arrizabalaga are injured. So the player is capable of playing everywhere, especially in matters football. He can play midfield, striking, and that is what has been proven in the English Premier League. But in the defense, I also thought when now that Timber and Calafiori, sometimes they get tired in games, maybe he can try him in those positions and he will also deliver. But checking at the lineups today, he has started as a striker.
Yeah.
So I think let him score fast so that we can focus on other things he does on the ground. Apart from that, Arsenal, this was their game to lose. If Arsenal lost against Brentford, I could tell you easily that Arsenal is not serious in title contention. And now that they won, we are seriously taking this thing, Mololo. And believe me, you or there's no team that has been at this position in December and lost the league. You know, Arsenal, most of the time they have been leading but dropping. And remember those days, Arsenal didn't have that squad depth. So now there's squad depth, and Rebata has brought in good. When a player comes from the bench, we know he's coming to make an impact. So even Bukayo Saka came from the bench, he scored against Brentford.
Yes.
So that is the mentality that is there at Arsenal. We want to win it. This season, we are not joking. We are not bottling again. So it is our season. So maybe...
Allow me to ask you this. In the defense, you can see Saliba and Gabriel are both missing. Hincapie and Mosquera. Yes, they are playing very well.
Yeah.
But do you think the defense is shaky somehow?
Arsenal defense is shaky, and we depend on midfield to win games. Sometimes you will see Declan Rice dropping to the midfield. You will also see dropping to the defense, not mid. You will also see Zubimendi dropping deeper to collect the ball. So that means Arsenal defense needs reinforcement from the midfield for us to win games. The other thing is that we accept that defense is weak. Now that Mosquera has been has been injured up to this point, so Mosquera will be out up to 6 weeks. And now Julian Timber now today is starting as a centre back together with Pierre Hincapie. So it is our prayer that the defense, our main defense, that is William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, come back in good condition, maybe January or this December, to come and help us push this title, because without them we are nothing. Remember, after Gabriel was injured, we have never had a set piece scored by the defense.
Yeah.
So it is a good thing that they come back early and we make sure that they are in a good position to compete. So that is my prayer.
Okay. Let's conclude with Man United. They played West Ham. They also got a draw.
Yeah.
1-1. What do you have to say?
Manchester United, they have been bottling every game they play. Remember also, Manchester United, when you look at their games, they have got beatings most of the times. If you look at the matches they have played. Against Crystal Palace, they managed to concede. Against Everton, they conceded. Against Tottenham, they conceded. Against Nottingham Forest, they conceded. So there is that something at Manchester United. Their system has not clicked. Sometimes they score, but they will concede. So that is the same thing that is happening to Tottenham. I think these two teams are not so stable. Then after that game, they are going to face Wolves. So that is a win to them on 8th. That is on Monday.
Yeah.
Then Man United versus Bournemouth. That is another big game for Man U. Aston Villa versus Manchester United. This one will be on 21st. 3 days to Christmas. Man United versus Newcastle on Boxing Day. This is another big game. So I can say Manchester United need to step up and make sure that when they manage to win games, when they are leading, they know how to contain the opponent so that it doesn't harm them. You know, against West Ham, they were harmed in the 83 minutes.
Yes.
When Magasa scored. So I can say Manchester United need to do something in terms of managing games. Yeah.
Okay. Because the 3-4-3 system, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think Amorim has to look at where they need fixation and he just fixes it. If time allowed, we could have talked about Kobe Maino.
Yeah, Kobe Maino should leave. I had even Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
Paul Scholes, in his interview, he said they are doing something harmful to a player like that. And I tend to believe with Paul Scholes because Mololo tell me a player from the academy has been given a chance by another manager. Remember when Erik ten Hag was at Manchester United, Maino was playing and he was shining. I remember the last goal Maino scored was against Wolves.
Yeah.
It was a winning goal. So that is a talent that is being killed. And to show that that coach, Ruben Felipe Amorim, is a mad person or is a coach, is that he was asked if they can use Maino in games. And he's laughing. And on a podcast, surely. You know, Maino even himself, he has handed a request so that he leaves in January. Remember, he is aiming to play for England in the 2026 World Cup, to feature maybe in the group stage matches. And, you know, the draw was yesterday. And in those group stage matches, he has to, at least to feature in those games. Yeah. And he cannot feature there if he's not playing for Manchester United.
True.
So I think it is high time Kobe Maino, Joshua Zirkzee to leave. You know, Joshua Zirkzee, even the last game he scored because the striker, the main striker, Benjamin Sesko, is injured. And that's the main reason that made Amorim to start him. But I think Amorim had some players. Yeah. He hates Maino with passion. He hates Joshua Zirkzee. The only decision he takes to play them is if there is no someone to play him in that position. That's why he plays him. Kobe Maino has been so sad on the bench. You could look at the player and know that the player is really out of his senses. You know, that is killing talent. So let Maino leave Manchester United. Of course, the players that have left Manchester United are signing. Scott McTominay, Marcus Rashford at Barcelona. Though Barcelona have said they will not sign him, but he's a good player. So other players...
Even Rasmus Højlund at Napoli.
Is Real Betis.
No.
Napoli, sorry. Yes. Is doing very well. The likes of Sancho, they are doing very well. They left Manchester United. So Kobe might not leave Manchester United as soon as this, so that you go and make your career. You have your ambitions, you have your how you want to take your football career. So we will watch the highlights later. Can we continue to today's matches, especially?
That will be all about the EPL action on the matches that were played in the week. So I think most of the upcoming fixtures we've mentioned. Maybe what we've not mentioned is the time. So Arsenal Aston Villa starts at 3:30.
Yeah.
And then at 6.
Manchester City versus Sunderland, 6 p.m. Bournemouth versus Chelsea, 6 p.m. Tottenham versus Brentford, 6 p.m. Newcastle versus Burnley, 6 p.m. Everton versus Nottingham Forest, 6 p.m. Then 8:30, Leeds versus Liverpool. That one is a death for Liverpool, 8:30 p.m. Then tomorrow, Brighton versus West Ham. Then Fulham versus Crystal Palace. And then also on Monday, Wolves versus Man United at 11 p.m. Then on Sunday, that is at 5 p.m., Brighton versus West Ham. At 7:30, Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Okay, Mololo, before you, I know you want to cut me, but we must look at the lineup of Arsenal against the mighty Arsenal against Aston Villa. So if you are driving or you are doing something, please listen to the listen to the lineup that is there today. The game is only 6 minutes away from starting. So let's start with the home team. In goal, Emiliano Martinez is starting, the Argentine goalkeeper. Then we have Matikash is starting as a right back. Then Ezri Konsa, center back, is an Englishman. Then Pau Torres, center back, Spain. Then Ian Martsen is there, starting as a left back, Netherlands. Then Kamara is starting as a midfielder together with Onana, Onana from Belgium. McGinn from Scotland is starting as a winger. Then Yuri Tielemans as a 10. Morgan Rogers as a winger. Then Oli Watkins as the main striker. On the deadliest lineup Arsenal has lined up today, we have our very own, that is David Raya is starting in goal. Then Ben White as a right back. Julian Timber has taken Saliba's position as a center back. Then Pierre Nkapie, the Ecuadorian master, Kung Fu master, is playing as a center back. That is replacing Gabriel Magalhaes, who was injured. Then Ricardo Calafiori on the left back. And then in the midfield, number 6, the defending midfielder is Martin Zubimendi. And then attacking midfielder is Martin Odegaard. And then holding midfielder is Declan Rice. Of course, winger is Eberechi Eze. I remember when he scored against Tottenham, a hat-trick in the derby. The only player to score a hat-trick in the derby is Eze. Then Mikel Merino is starting as our striker. On the other side, as a winger, we are starting Bukayo Saka. On the bench, we have Mike Lewis Kelly, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Mal Salmon, Christian Norgard, Ethan Nwaneri, Noni Madueke, Victor Gyökeres, Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Martinelli, and those that are injured are Gabriel Magalhaes, Kai Havertz, William Saliba, Cristiano Mosquera, and Declan Rice, who is starting, but here he was doubtful for the game because he limped against Brentford. So that is the lineup, Arsenal versus Aston Villa this evening.
If I allow you to talk about Arsenal, we can leave here at 6 p.m. And I don't want that. So your prediction?
My prediction is Arsenal win 3-1.
Okay. Mine is a 2-2 draw. Let's meet on Monday and see who was right with their prediction. My name is Chris Mololo. Felix Makona was co-hosting with me, and our sign language interpreter was Philip Omondi. Thank you so much for watching, and it's goodbye from us.